Huge pro-Palestinian rallies are taking place in both Sydney and Melbourne this afternoon, despite objections by police. In Sydney, tens of thousands of people are right now marching over the Sydney Harbour Bridge after the New South Wales Supreme Court refused the Police Commissioner's application for a prohibition order on the event. For more, we're joined now by reporter Nabil Al-Nashar, who is on the bridge right now. It looks pretty wet and miserable. Can you explain what you're seeing, Nabil?
Absolutely, Catherine. Thousands of protesters have braved this wet weather, a literal rainstorm. They've braved the courts, which ruled in their favour on Saturday, and they've braved the political will of Chris Minns, the New South Wales Premier, to be here today for the Harbour Bridge March for Humanity, as they call it. It's a march for Gaza. The scenes which you might be able to see behind me, or maybe from earlier on around Lang Park, it's just a sea of umbrellas and Palestinian flags. It's amazing the number of people who have showed up, families, young and old, flooded into the streets around Lang Park just earlier to listen to the speakers, including Palestinian writer and academic Randa Abdel Fattah, Greens Senator Mehreen Faruqi, former Socceroo Craig Foster, and Jewish author and journalist Antony Loewenstein. Even Julian Assange made a presence today. He was spotted around the crowd next to the stage, but he isn't speaking to media. So big numbers. The organizers are hoping it'll be up to 50,000 people who showed up today, but that was before the weather turned for the worst like this.
Yeah. Now, Nabil, can you remind us of the message that the protesters are trying to put across today?
Absolutely, Catherine. These protesters, many of them have protested in Sydney nearly every single weekend, with few exceptions, over the last 22 months since everything began in October 2023. And their message has always been the same. It's the same message they've carried since day one. They want Israel to stop the war in Gaza, and they want the Australian government to put sanctions on Israel and take further action to that end. Many of these protesters showing up today believe that Israel is committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza, and they believe that Israel is starving Palestinians in Gaza. Many of them their phones have been flooded with a constant stream of pictures and videos of emaciated Palestinian children, but also men and women from the ongoing starvation there. They're in agreement, of course, in their conclusion with Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, the UN Special Rapporteur on the human rights situation in the occupied Palestinian territories, Francesca Albanese, not to mention a few leading Israeli human rights organizations as well, including Beit Islam, in that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. But all of these conclusions fly in the face of vehement Israeli denial from the beginning and to now of any genocide happening, and of course of any starvation happening in Gaza as well. All of these protesters are joining this march for Gaza on the Harbour Bridge. They're calling it a historic moment. As you would know, it's not easy, and it's a special occasion for the Harbour Bridge to be shut down for an occasion like this. With the protest continuing onto the bridge in that direction, you might be able to start seeing them behind me now. Eventually, after they've crossed it, they're going to turn around and head back to the city.
Look at the crowd here. It is massive, unprecedented, and huge. We are the majority, not the people who support what is happening in Palestine today. The only way this will stop, is isolation for Israel. There is only one way: sanctions, boycotts, and divestment. It is the only way that Israel will stop, and our government must be doing that now.
We told them this would happen. They didn't care. They parroted Israel's propaganda. They demonized anyone who stood up and spoke out. So spare me if I don't now start patting the prime ministers and the foreign ministers back and give them accolades. But now, because of your pressure, because of you protesting week in, week out, they are moving inch by inch, and we cannot stop now.
That was federal Green Senator Mehreen Faruqi you were listening to there, speaking at the beginning of the march, and before her, Jewish author and journalist Antony Loewenstein. And what they're talking about is a feeling that's definitely common amongst the protesters that I've spoken to here today, is that there is mounting pressure now, not just on Israel, but on government, especially the Australian government, because of a shift in tone. That's how they see it on the situation in Gaza, especially with countries like France promising to recognize a Palestinian state next month in September, and Canada making a similar announcement as well. They feel that there's pressure and momentum now that they would like to capitalize on for their cause.